The person you are having a discussion with is likely not telling the complete truth. You can feel it in the shifting weight of their posture, the slight overcorrection in their eyes, the way their words came out just a fraction too fast. Your instinct is to press them. You want to ask questions, demand details, or point out the contradiction in what they just said. But if you do that, they will build a wall. They will defend their lie, adjust their story, and lock you out. Most people have become very used to reacting this way. They meet force with force, conversation with noise, and deception with confrontation. They think influence comes from being the loudest person in the room. It rarely does. The truth is far more unsettling. Human behavior is surprisingly predictable when you understand the psychological triggers operating beneath the surface. Certain tactics can make people reveal more than they intended, become more cooperative, lower their defenses, and even feel as though your idea was their idea all along. These are not magic tricks, and they are not mind control. They are powerful psychological mechanisms that influence how people think, feel, and respond. Some of the most effective tactics do not look like weapons. They look like open space. They look like a minor favor. They look like a harmless habit. Right now, you may be losing leverage in conversations simply because you talk too much, reveal too much, and react too quickly. You may be giving away your emotions, your information, and your negotiating power for free. In this video, we will break down 5 powerful dark psychology tactics that can dramatically increase your ability to influence outcomes, guide behavior, and gain the upper hand in social situations. More importantly, you will learn how to recognize when these exact tactics are being used against you. The mechanism of real influence is often quiet. It frequently allows the other person to move themselves exactly where you want them to go while believing they arrived there on their own. By the time we reach the final principle of this breakdown, you will understand some of the most effective psychological dynamics ever used to shape human behavior, and you may begin to recognize how often they have already shaped yours. Tactic 1. The strategic silence. Nature hates a void, but human psychology frequently hates it more. When a conversation falls completely flat, an intense pressure begins to build in the minds of everyone present. It's an evolutionary quirk. Human beings are hardwired to seek social alignment, and silence often signals a dangerous break in that alignment. Robert Greene observed that powerful people say less than necessary. The more you speak, the more common you appear, and the more likely you are to say something foolish. But you can take this further. You can use silence as an active probe. Imagine a corporate salary negotiation. The hiring manager makes an offer that is lower than you expected. Instead of arguing, negotiating, or showing anger, you simply stop talking. You maintain direct, relaxed eye contact. Let your face remain neutral. Do not nod, do not frown, and do not offer any verbal filler like "I see" or "okay." Just let the silence sit between you like a physical object. What happens inside the other brain during this vacuum is often pure discomfort. Their internal monologue begins to race. They wonder if you are offended, if their offer was insulting, or if the negotiation is falling apart. To break the agonizing tension you have created, they will frequently start talking again. They will try to clarify, defend, or expand on their previous statement. In doing so, they can over-explain. They may stumble into contradictions or lower their demands. They might hand you the exact concession or information you need entirely unprompted. They can literally dismantle their own position just to make the quiet stop. Most people miss something important about this mechanic. It requires you to conquer your own discomfort first. You have been conditioned to fill pauses because you want to be liked. You have to kill that urge. The next time someone tries to push your boundaries or lies to you, give them absolutely nothing. Watch how frequently they lose their footing in the empty space you provide.
Tactic 2. The compliance loop. There is a strange flaw in human logic. We assume that we do nice things for people because we like them. The reality is often the exact opposite. We frequently like people because we do nice things for them. This is the foundation of cognitive dissonance. The human brain cannot easily tolerate a contradiction between its actions and its beliefs. If I help you, my brain must justify that expenditure of energy. It tells itself, I am helping this person, therefore they must be someone worthy of my help, therefore I must like them. Machiavelli understood that human relationships are governed by utility and obligation rather than genuine affection. To increase the likelihood of someone supporting you, you do not try to win them over with gifts or favors. That actually creates suspicion and psychological debt, which makes people withdraw. Instead, you invert the process. You ask them for a small, effortless favor. Consider a new coworker who seems distant or uncooperative. Instead of trying to win them over with compliments, ask to borrow a specific pen or ask for directions to a meeting room you already know. The task takes no effort, so they comply. The moment they do, the compliance loop is activated. Their subconscious has just taken an action that benefits you. To maintain internal alignment, their brain quietly updates their perception of you. You are no longer an adversary, you are someone they help. Once that initial boundary is crossed, you can gradually escalate the scale of your requests over days or weeks. You move from a pen to a quick piece of advice, to a small task, to a major favor. Because the human mind prefers consistency over logic, they will frequently continue to comply to justify their past behavior. They may find themselves working for your benefit, completely convinced that they're doing it out of pure free will. Tactic 3. Psychological anchoring. The human mind is an associative machine. If an external stimulus occurs repeatedly during a specific emotional state, the brain can subconsciously link the two together. This is grounded in classic psychological conditioning. In marketing, it is why car commercials show attractive people and scenic landscapes. They're trying to anchor the feeling of freedom and status to a physical product. In human relationships, this process happens accidentally all the time. A strategic operator simply pays attention to it. Every person you interact with experiences waves of intense emotion throughout the day. They experience moments of profound relief, sudden laughter, deep comfort, or acute stress. Most people simply ride these waves. If you pay close attention, you can introduce a subtle anchor during these peaks. When you notice a colleague or friend entering a state of high comfort, relief, or laughter, you introduce a unique, subtle stimulus. It could be a specific, distinct phrase spoken in a calm tone, or a precise, casual gesture you make with your hands. The key is that the stimulus must be distinct enough to stand out from normal, everyday background behavior. If you pair that distinct phrase or gesture with their peak state of comfort multiple times, the brain can build a neural bridge. Eventually, you may find that deploying that specific cue during a neutral or slightly stressful moment can help automatically trigger a subconscious shift toward that associated state of comfort. The disturbing part is that this works just as effectively with negative states. If you consistently introduce a specific cold tone or a distinct visual cue whenever someone feels guilty, insecure, or anxious, you can later deploy that cue to instantly induce compliance through manufactured anxiety. You are essentially building a shortcut to their emotional baseline. Yet, this is where everything changes. Look closely at your own life. Think about the people who can make you feel small with a single glance, or the brands that make you feel inadequate with a specific chord progression in a commercial. You aren't reacting to the present moment. You are reacting to an anchor that was driven into your psychology months or years ago. You are already living inside someone else's script. Tactic 4. Calculated vulnerability. If you appear flawless, people will envy you. If you appear guarded, people will distrust you. The human ego is naturally defensive. It assumes that everyone else is playing a game, so it keeps its armor on. To disarm someone completely, you must make them believe they have found a crack in your armor. This is the tactic of calculated vulnerability. Robert Greene noted that the best way to neutralize an opponent is to mirror them or show a weakness that makes them feel superior. When you control the perception of your own flaws, You can influence the other person's level of comfort. To execute this, you deliberately share a piece of information that seems private, slightly embarrassing, or mildly damaging to your reputation. It must be something that feels raw, but in reality it is completely harmless to your actual goals or long-term safety. You might confess a past failure, a specific insecurity, or a minor personal struggle. The moment you hand them this vulnerability, two things happen simultaneously. First, their brain registers a massive shift in trust. They believe that because you have given them leverage, you must trust them implicitly. Second, it triggers their own desire to reciprocity. Because you lowered your guard, they will feel an intense, almost irresistible psychological pressure to lower theirs. They will begin to confess their actual secrets, their genuine weaknesses, and their real fears. What they do not realize is that while they have been given a fake weapon, they have handed you a real one. They believe they are participating in a deep, authentic human connection. In reality, you are conducting an audit of their psychological vulnerabilities. You are learning exactly what moves them, what scares them, and where they can be broken if necessary. There's another problem hidden beneath this. Most people perform vulnerability accidentally because they are desperate for validation. They leak their actual secrets to anyone who will listen, thinking they are building bonds. They never realize that true intimacy is rare, but data collection disguised as intimacy is happening every single day. Tactic 5. The illusion of autonomy. There is no force on earth greater than the human desire for freedom. If people feel forced, cornered, or overtly manipulated, they will resist even if the choice benefits them. Friedrich Nietzsche wrote about the will to power, the inherent human drive to assert dominance over one's environment and choices. If you try to command someone directly, you trigger their psychological reactance. They will say no simply to prove that they can. Therefore, a highly effective form of influence is to rarely give a direct command. Instead, you provide the absolute illusion of total choice while structuring the environment so that the available paths still serve your broader objectives. Imagine you need a team member to finish a project over the weekend. If you tell them they have to do it, they will likely resent you and do a poor job. Instead, you offer them a choice. Do you want to handle the client presentation preparation on Saturday afternoon, or would you prefer to review the final data sheets on Sunday morning? Either option ensures the project moves forward over the weekend. The subject rarely fights the premise of the question because their brain is too busy focusing on the choice being offered. They select Sunday morning, feeling empowered, feeling like they won a small victory, entirely unaware of how perfectly they have aligned with your original goals. You can apply this to negotiations, relationships, and leadership. You frame the boundaries of reality and let them play inside the sandbox you built. They will walk directly into the trap, smiling the entire way because they believe they chose the destination.
When you understand these 5 mechanisms, the social world stops looking like a chaotic series of random interactions. It begins to look like a game of chess, where the pieces are already moving according to predictable, historical patterns. You see the vacuums of silence, the loops of compliance, the anchors of emotion, the traps of vulnerability, and the rigged choices for what they really are, the invisible architecture of human behavior. You now stand at a specific threshold. The goal of understanding these tactics is not to turn you into a master of manipulation, nor is it to suggest that you can completely dictate the actions of others. True control over another human being is a myth. Rather, the real power lies in awareness. You can choose to leave this room and continue reacting to the world exactly as you always have. You can keep talking too much to fill the silence. You can keep doing favors for people who do not respect you. You can keep letting your emotional triggers be pulled by anyone who knows where to press. You can keep believing that every choice you make is entirely your own. That is the comfortable path, and it is the path that 99% of the population will walk until they die. Or you can accept the reality of the human shadow. You can recognize these patterns when they are deployed against you and build an unshakable defense. If you do not learn to manage the psychological spaces you occupy, someone else will manage them for you. The next time you find yourself in an argument, an interview, or a quiet room with someone whose motives you doubt,
Do not react. Do not force the issue. Step back. Look for the vacuum. Let them speak first. If you want to continue uncovering the hidden laws that govern human behavior, subscribe to this channel and pay close attention to the patterns around you. The world is full of people who think they are steering the ship, but the most powerful person in the room is always the one who understands how to read the map.